Hey Lisa, can you talk about self-hatred being an energetic contraction? Blame and punishing seems to be components of self-hatred. Yes, thank you. So Roger, my main teacher, he used to say that hatred was seeking. So not self-hatred, but the nature of hatred was seeking. And I used to find that so aggressive, and I disliked him saying that because I didn't want to see myself as being hateful. And what he means by that is this rejection. And so the tiny, rejection of what's happening, that leads to immense hatred, if you see what I mean. So even though it might be a little rejection, like on the bad days when it gets really touched, then it can lead to big hatred. So self-hatred is the opposite to outward hatred. So rather than hating the other, they're really the same in the end. If you hate the other, you're really hating yourself. But so rather than hating the other, you are hating yourself and blaming your suffering on yourself rather than on the external world. So rather, I'm not getting something because of someone else or because of this. It's like me, I did it, me. So that would be shame and guilt rather than pride and blame. And all seeking is a contraction. So hatred is a contraction. The more, and it's kind of like if you look at Gollum in the Lord of the Rings, it's like, if you imagine that, like the more that you are identified, the more you hate, and the more you're like, me, mine, and everything becomes about you. So Gollum was most probably immensely self-hating. And then because he self-hated, it's like he became obsessed with himself and incredibly greedy, like everything's mine. And that's what it feels like when you're deeply suffering, is that you're deeply contracted, like internally deeply contracted. And as you feel more happy, you're lining up with oneness and you feel more expanded. And you can investigate that the next time you feel more happy. And notice that you feel bigger. You don't feel like this tight ball inside. So Roger also used to talk about that, about the contraction versus the expansion. And as you're feeling more at peace and happy and contented, then you feel naturally more expanded. And as you feel more hateful, evil internally, self-hatred, or external hatred, you feel more contracted. And then you're suffering more when you feel more contracted. Yeah, and blame and punishing. So it's internal blame, like shame, like I am bad, or I did something wrong, rather than external blame of like they did it. But it's kind of the same thing. It's just instead of blaming this object, we're blaming the other object. Yeah. Thank you for your question. Why do we hate others if we know we're only hating ourselves? Misperception. It's all very similar, but the hating of others is, like you said when we spoke on Zoom, is that they are not giving you what you want. So self-hatred is I am not giving me what I want. I am bad, I am shameful, I'm a failure, I'm a fuck up, all these things. Whereas when you're hating externally, it's they're not giving you what you want. You would be happy if they gave you what you want. It's like what you said. And then both of them are illusory, internal or external.